Right. I'm watching my daily snippets of podcasts that I take in on YouTube, and I just got this one that was making the claim that trans people are more popular than ever as dating partners. No, not really. It's just that because the economy is crashing and burning and people's lives are falling apart, they're trying to distract themselves harder than ever by sleeping around more than usual. I don't think you're getting more partners on a scale that you think you are. I mean, yeah, you're going to get new people on the sexual market, when people come of age or they realize they're not happy in their marriage and they'll try anything once just to see if they can find any kind of fulfillment or satisfaction in their sex life, so they'll try something new. So, I mean, you'll get new players, absolutely. That's always going to be a factor. But you're not seeing an exponential growth in long-term relationships with trans people. You see, here's the thing. Gay men want men, not men who are trying everything they can to be women. Women who are straight want men, not men who are trying all they can to be women. Gay women will not have anything to do with any kind of man, even if he believes he's a woman. And so that's a factor, alright? Now, we're not going to go into the niche situations where you do have a guy who's sexually attracted to girly men, or straight women who are attracted to girly men, or so-called lesbians that want feminine partners but like having straight sex with men at their core, and they're just kind of blurring the line or muddying the issue. Most people that get with trans people for sex are fulfilling a fetish. They want something deviant, a little off the beaten path, you know what I mean? And when you do see people that are in long-term relationships with sexually alternative people like transgender folk, whatever, you're going to realize really early on that the people in love with them love them, not how they sexually, not their sexual role, not how they present themselves, etc. So effectively, this person loves Sally, the trans woman. They love Sally. They don't love the trans woman that is Sally. They love Sally, who is the trans woman. So effectively, Sally could become, for all intents and purposes, a brain in a jar, and then Sally's partner would still love Sally's brain in a jar. So they don't love the trans shit. They essentially tolerate the trans shit because they love Sally as a human being. So probably if you're intent on being trans, and this is just like the hill you're going to die on, this is who I am, this is who I am now. My best recommendation from a place of pragmatism and sanity is that you develop a personality. Because if you have a personality and you have interests and you have hobbies and you have fields of expertise and you have a raison d'etre, you have a teleology, if you have a robust and eclectic grouping of interests and things that inspire joy and active things that you do in your life to participate in the things that matter to you, that gives somebody something about you to love other than the crazy stuff you're doing to your body. Because let me tell you, all that surgery and all those hormones, you can do all that. Absolutely, you can do that if that's what you want to do to yourself, but it's not going to make you healthier. It's going to cause a lot of adverse health issues. So there's going to be days, weeks, and even months where you're just unable to have, sex with your partner because you're recovering from surgical procedures, or the hormones you're taking flare you up a little bit and you're having mood swings and behavioral issues, which is going to happen when you alter your blood chemistry, because then that affects how your brain functions. So you're going to want something about you for your partner to be in love with. And honestly, if you're a woman and you don't want to be seen as just a hole in an oven to stick a bun in, a womb, you're going to need the same thing. Alright? If you want to be more than just your body count, then you have to be more than just your body count. You have to have a personality. You have to have talents. You have to have hopes and dreams and fears. And actively live a life that takes you away from your fears and towards your hopes and dreams. You have to be pursuing things, especially meaning. I mean, if you're pursuing a career and you're a woman, well, that doesn't make you a very good wife. So you're not going to be somebody's wife or be a wife for a very good man, because if you can't be a good wife, you're not going to get a good husband. So get that figured out. And men, fellow men, you kind of get the short end of the stick in all this. Because women are still going to see you as resources, even if you have the most interesting personality of all. You're the tortured artist, you're brilliant, you're a bad boy, you got a mysterious and troubled past. You got all of the things that girls love, you know? Like, I can fix him, he's damaged, but I can fix him. He's so creative and brilliant, but he's not all there. Like, I can take care of him and nurture him, and that's great. But that's not long-term relationship material. If you want to have a fucking lifetime relationship with a girl and be married for the rest of your days, unfortunately, it's just going to boil down to you just working your tail off and getting it right to the extent that you can support her. Keeping house. Because if you can't afford to have the girl stay home and keep house, she's not going to be able to. She's going to have to go out and work. Hard times happen. Things come up. Layoffs occur. I'm unemployed right now. Every time I tell people I don't have a job, I'm unemployed, they just assume I get an unemployment check. Well, no. Actually, no, don't. So anyways, and then your girlfriend's taking care of the bills for a while because she had to go to work, because we live in a society where most people in relationships, long-term or otherwise, can't have one partner stay at home and the other one just work. It won't work. You know, cost of living is too high. Tell you something. That hurts your relationship when the girl has to support you. She'll act like it's cool and it was only for a season of our lives and then you got back on track, and I don't hold it against. Girls hold everything against you. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in the court of your girlfriend's opinion of you. And that's just a fact. I have no illusions that my girlfriend is sick of my shit, but she still believes she loves me, and I hope she still does. But as long as she believes she loves me, she won't leave. But she's tired of my BS. She wants me to work more. She wants to spend more time with me, she says, but now she's paying the bills for this month, and I haven't even completed my car payment for the month. And that's going to put more weight on her. She's going to pay a larger portion for the rent. And so while she understands I'm just trying to work it all out and get into another job, she's going to act like it's cool, and she's going to hold it against me and keep being bitter and giving me a lot of tone around the house. And I'm sure exactly that's what's been up my girlfriend's ass is I'm not working, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like that I'm home right now. She thinks I should either be in bed, sleeping, getting ready to be on the job, or already on the job. Let's not sugarcoat it. That's just women. Men, you don't need a personality. You just need stable income. It's not cool. It's not fair. That's life. So, yeah. But girls, trannies, you need a personality. If you need to not be alone, you need to have a personality. You need to have things about you that are something that someone's just crazy about and loves and just can't get enough of and finds enthralling and mysterious and enchanting. Because if you're not enthralling, mysterious, and enchanting, you're single. There are a lot of trannies in the market that are free and available. There's a lot more women because just women outnumber men in any flavor. And, you know, most women aren't trans. So the transgender market, I wouldn't say is like bottomless, but more of them are single and ready to mingle than are taken and in a serious long-term committed relationship. You can feel any way you want about that as long as you can accept that it's the case. That's just how it is. As such, you just gotta kind of play the game. You know, don't hate the game. Play the game. You're not gonna probably be a winner in the game because there's only one winner in every game. I guess you got second and third place too, but if you ain't first, you're last, Ricky Bobby. So if you ever want to have a chance, a snowball's chance in hell at a meaningful relationship, being happy, all the rest of it, you really have not much of a choice. Like you're gonna have to play. You have to play the game. You don't have to be. You don't have to be psyched about it. You don't have to pretend like it's no big deal. It can bother you. You can be honest about it. This isn't fair, but I wouldn't do that in front of your partners or prospective partners because they don't want to see that lack of confidence. They don't want to see the wallowing. And honestly, men are sick and tired of tantrums and histrionics. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not happy with where my relationship is right now, and a large part of it is just like all I fucking do is, catch tone and ask what's wrong. Nothing's wrong. It gets old real quick, and I don't want my partner to go anywhere. I'm not planning on ever leaving my partner. Like, I guess at some point we might not be together. I don't know, but she's the best love I've ever known, and I'm also broke, so the odds are pretty high at some point she's just going to leave me. That's life. What's your game plan? Well, it's going to be easier to find a job if I'm not in a relationship because then there's no limits on my time and my schedule and I can live exactly when and how I want to. Right now, my girlfriend's a school teacher, so that kind of puts strain on certain schedules that I might keep. If I'm coming to bed at 2 or 3 a.m. every night, it's gonna chafe because then she's in the middle of sleeping trying to get rest for the day ahead. Might have to sleep on the couch perhaps or something. I don't know. That's a possibility. I don't know. So for all you people out there, you want to commit to being trans or you want to commit to being a woman for a good man, good luck. Because trans people, guys that are willing to be in a relationship with you, are far and few in between. You can find no small amount of guys that'll lay pipe with you, but they're not gonna stick around. They're gonna nut and bail. And girls, you have a very minute amount of people in the dating pool that you consider worth a damn. You've resolved that 90% of you deserve 10% of men. Well, 10% of men aren't enough to go around, which leaves 90% of you SOL, unless you want to share, and I don't think you do, whatever you might say otherwise. So, you got to up your game. Just like you expect men to perform at their best if they ever want to have a chance with you, which is fair. I mean, if you want a top tier woman, you got to be a top tier man, so I don't recommend that you quote unquote settle, but you also have to, what are you bringing to the table? Because there's so many women that are just busting for a high-quality man that any high-quality man has a deep, deep ocean of people to choose from. Why would he get some ugly-ass, plain old-looking, overweight, lazy-ass, unmotivated, uninteresting, bitter, tantrum-throwing woman way past her prime with a 4% chance of successfully doing in vitro fertilization to bring him kids, when he can get a nice, exuberant, excited 23-year-old girl who's wants to just get out and go hiking and camp on the side of mountains and do adventurous shit, and she's in shape and she fits in the plane seat to go overseas and travel with him and then bear him as many children as he wants. There's no comparison there. It's not to say that once you get past your prime you get nothing, but you need to adjust your expectations to align with where you're at in your life cycle. You're not going to pull the same shit at 40 as you pull at 23. And then to an extent that's true for men. The only difference is our sexual market goes up over time, because 9 times out of 10, where we're at 50 years old as compared to where we're at when we're 25 years old, we're probably more financially secure, we're more confident in what we want, we have a place to put, like multiple bedrooms in the house to put children in. And you know what? Like the medical cost, the education cost for raising those kids is covered. All right, so we have plenty to offer you. Okay, we're older. Well, guess what? We can make babies up until the point of death, basically. As long as we got a prostate and a pair of balls, we can pump that baby batter out ad infinitum. So it's not us that are running out of time. All right, it's you that's running out of time, ladies. And transgender folk, unless you want to get with a bunch of creepy, gross old men and feel like a blue plate special for the AARP, you gotta not be gross. You gotta not be gross. So many are just fat, hairy dudes with neck beards. You don't even shave every day. Look, I'm not trans. Look. And I just got dressed. I'm going to go back in there and put on some face treatment, like the creams, moisturize, because look at these I don't sleep bags under my eyes. And fuck around with nails, because, death metal. Have some black nails. It's fun. Yeah, I take care of myself. Like, you don't even do that. You don't even do anything but sit around all day and just scroll the internet and like, why can't I ever get laid? I guess I'll have to just get with men and be some guy's girlfriend if I can't be a boyfriend. Well, you better try hard, because even in the trans-maxing movement on like 4chan or Reddit or whatever, your competition is stiff. You got like these 23-year-old like washboard abs, super fit, like twinkish looking dudes. They're cute, they're feminine because of how young they are. They probably got on the hormones a little bit and at a young age, like in their early 20s before they're even fully developed. So they're going to have like secondary traits that are very feminine, femboys I guess you call them. And you're going to have to compete with that with your 40-year-old neckbeard ass. And like, you are not appealing. You are not appealing. Yeah, you might be easy. Like, come on over, I'll give you whatever you want. That's great, but like, a guy can be picky. A guy is allowed to be picky. Women are picky. I would say that the group of people in this pool that we're discussing that can least afford to be picky, who cannot swing the luxury of being choosy, are the transgender folks, whether you're trans male or trans female. Because again, your dating pool is so low. Your sex pool is a little deeper than your dating pool, but even if you're not trying to date and all you're trying to do is get your validation fixed by getting ran through, you better be top tier. Because unless people are just dogging, slumming, pork hunting, have some kind of fetish for just really low standard like one night stands, and they kind of get off on their partners just being gross, is that really what you want to be? I mean, some of you must. I've seen 55-year-old guys in diapers, and this is like, oh, I'm trans. Wow. And as far as addressing that, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. I hope your money is in order, your finances in order if you're 55 and in diapers and acting like a little girl, and this is like what you want to offer the world, because effectively you're in a very, very precarious situation where you're probably just going to have to pay for somebody to even like look at you for longer than a couple of seconds, let alone doing anything with your funny bits. Like, nobody wants that. I'll act like I want anything for money, right? That's the kind of person you're going to have to be dealing with, and you're going to have to pay up. Like, I don't think that I'd get with a guy like that, which I'm not into guys generally, but I'm just saying, like, let's just say I'm at my worst, I'm at my most desperate, I'm going to lose my car, I'm not going to have a place to live, I need my medication, and I can't afford to go to the doctor. Like, this is like life or death. I'd probably still need like 12 to 15 grand to get in there, Poppy. And we're not even talking about like the fun stuff where my tongue goes into the starfish. No, this is just real basic intimacy. We're talking 12 to 15K. I'd rather die. Sorry, you're gross. You smell weird. But what are you gonna do? Like, be real. Be real with yourself. Be real with the world. And all will go well with you. You're not gonna come into this world and just get whatever you want. That's not how it works out. It's a lot of disappointment. It's a lot of failure. It's a lot of going without, and then it's death at the end of it. That's just what you signed up for the day you were born. It's terrible. I sometimes lay in bed, and my night gets ruined by just the thought that I'm going to just be dead someday. I think the dying part's probably worse than the being dead part, and we all kind of get hung up on that. It's terrifying, but you know what? It's going to happen. Are you really going to spend the last few moments on Earth, like as you're dying, sitting there parsing through all the parts of your life that you just failed miserably, and got left out of like one in a lifetime experiences and positive interactions that you passed up on just because you wanted to be a child about things. That would be my version of hell, is like just an eternity of time right before death where you're just stuck up on all the mistakes you made and you just don't have enough wins in your book versus losses to offset the regret. And so all you do is die with just a bunch of regret. That would be just abject misery in my book. So like, maybe work on yourself a little bit, you know? Maybe go take a walk today. Maybe switch up the milkshake with a little bit of spinach, hey? How about you don't eat some cake this week? Just a few suggestions on that front. And as far as the trans folks are concerned, you'd better be going to the gym, staying lean, and for God's sakes, working on that body hair. I don't know about those hormones. If I were you, I've seen a lot of people that look real cute, like they even passed in my eye, didn't do any of that stuff with the hormones or surgery. So it's possible. You better figure yourself out because you're running out of time. And people like me, guys, like I'm running out of time too, but I got more time than all y'all put together. Like I got the time that you don't have. Like, and I'm not saying I have a whole lot. Nobody has more than 5 minutes on Earth, but you gotta fix yourself. You gotta tighten up. Like this is like real time. Like this is like down to the wire. Like society's not getting better. There's more schisms between, you know, factions, groups, political ideologies, etc. And that's narrowing down your dating pool. And at the end of the day, sex doesn't work for you because if getting sex fixed all your problems and the first time you got laid would be the last time you needed to get laid and you'd be good. But you keep needing it. It's like a drug. And the problem with drugs is your addiction to them is predicated upon their availability. And you will always have sex if you want to pay for it because, you know, as long as you got money to pay for services rendered, that really increases the availability of your vice of choice. So if you want to go out and basically solicit prostitution, you can get whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, as long as you got the bread to keep the other party interested. They'll do all kinds of things with you, probably for less than $12,000 to $15,000, because they're not me, they're whores, and I'm not. So I don't know. I mean, don't you think that a relationship, like a long-term relationship when you're with somebody for 5 years to the rest of your life, somewhere in that range, would be more satisfying than just picking up whores or sluts and thoughts from the bar that you got to get rid of in the morning in some awkward bid to get them to walk out of your house without pitching a fit? I mean, and honestly, I know there's a lot of financial and time investment in being in a relationship, and you lose a lot of your free time because my woman always wants to hang out and do stuff together, and I'm not really good with that, but I do my best. I'm just not very good with it. You know, and then you are going to need to take her out to dinner sometimes. You are going to need to buy her gifts. You are going to need to take her to go do things. You're going to have to go camping with her. You're going to have to take time off from your life and your job to go take her to do a thing that she's really big on, like going to a shitty-ass art museum or a garbage can opera or something. That's just the breaks. But all of that stuff combined, time and money, it's honestly more effective and economic just to do it with one woman instead of just doing it with a series of women or trans people or men or whatever you're looking for. And you know, you think women like you and trans people are going to get out of this getting paid for the whole way and somebody's going to foot your bill? Trans people, they're not going to foot your bill. Because like again, like you don't have what a woman has to offer. Like you have to simulate it, and that costs money to create that simulation. Be that through body modification or appliances or however you make that work for yourself, you're going to have to invest. And then women, you're going to have to invest too, whether you like claim you do or don't. How much is all that makeup costing you, huh? How much does it cost to screw around with all those ridiculous looking hair shits that you do to your head that make you look like a moron? How much money do you spend on the I don't work for a living nail jobs, huh? Like nail jobs that get ruined if you actually work to pay for them, which is how you basically tell the world that you don't pay for anything yourself, which makes you fundamentally a non-player in a household. Ain't no man gonna marry a wife that has ridiculous I don't work for a living nail jobs, because they know when times get tough, your ass ain't gonna go out and get a job, so you're just gonna be dead weight about their neck. You're nothing but a hole in a womb. Your hands say so. Don't get those nail jobs, by the way. They're stupid. No guy actually likes them. No guy actually finds them attractive. And basically it's just 10 red flags, 5 per hand. So like women, you got to keep yourself. You got to go do Pilates or something to remain attractive. And as you get older, if you're not taking care of that body, you are just shutting down the funhouse. Like no guy's trying to get in there. Like, again, the field is packed with like just desperate older women who are just trying to get validated by more than a box of wine and like 8 cats can pull off. So like, unless you want to distinguish yourself from your competition, other career women that are just bitter, misandrous clowns, you're gonna have to be appealing to men, which means you have to go be fit. You got to take care of yourself. You got to be clean. You got to take care of your hygiene. You got to wear respectable clothes and not dress like your 22-year-old daughter, because men aren't turned on by that at your age. You need to be not in the club. You need to probably just go see a matchmaker or something to get a decent man. You won't see me in a matchmaking service because I can't afford to be in that. So don't worry. If you don't like my attitude and you don't like the things I'm saying, you will be spared my presence because I am too poor for you. I'm too poor for most people. And therefore, as a man, I have pretty much nothing to offer anybody. Because, again, men are only seen as resources by all their partners. I mean, I guess the transgender crowd might see me as more than resources. They might see me as a penis, but I'm not turned on by you, so I don't know what to tell you. I can't do anything for you if I'm not turned on by you, because my pet snake won't come out and play, which means I'm just going to be there and telling you no. And you're going to get a lot of no's out of me, no thank yous, I'm sorry's, sorry about your lucks, sucks to be used. That's the action that trans people get out of me, and it's not out of malice. It's just I'm not interested. I'm sorry. So anyways, hopefully this gives you some much needed perspective and acts as like a mild wake up call for the none of you that are gonna watch this, that you really need to be on the ball. Because again, like, no matter how much your partner loves you and cares about you, if you are in a long-term relationship, if you're not working your best to be everything for them that they're trying to be for you, or if you're not inspiring them to be more by at least giving 110% on your end, you're just creating a negative feedback loop where nobody in that situation's happy. So ladies, if you're with a man, I mean, he might not be trying his best, but then if you let yourself go, then there's really nothing in it for him, because he didn't get with you to be with somebody who let themselves go, because he can just go out and like buy some old bag, a martini, and just take that home on a whim 7 nights a week. If you want to be the one he always comes home to, then you got to be something. I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I'm really not, but what do you expect? And if you are something that he wants to look forward to coming home to every night, don't you think he might be motivated to try a little harder on himself too? Don't you think that women play a role in inspiring their men and being, incentivizers and all that? I mean, most of you women are in nursing and education because you inspire kids and you nurture them and you compel them to reach beyond what they want to do, and you convince them to do more than what they feel that they have to. In medicine, you get people to take their meds and change their diet by chiding them and pushing them and gently nudging them towards a better way of living. In school, you nudge them towards being, less illiterate. You're not doing a good job teaching them shit, so you fail there, but at least you try to make them less illiterate, and like that's kind of your job, is to make them more than what they were before they came to you. So why are you going to pass the buck and not push your man to be more than what he wants to be? Why are you going to just give up on your man at home and put all your effort towards motivating strangers and inspiring people on the street, and then just fuck this man, he ain't no good? Like, where's your support for the person in your life that should matter the most? That's kind of fucked up, ain't it? So, and men, us, we have to inspire our wives to be likewise on point. We have to try to give 110% to match that energy that we want from them. So the buck doesn't stop with women. It's not on them exclusively. It's on everybody in the relationship. And trans people, I hope you're writing all this shit down, because this applies to you no matter which role you're taking, whether you're trying to be the man in the relationship or the woman. You got to be one or the other, because there's only men and women. So just get that through your head. There's men and women. So if you're trans, that's fine, but you're going to have to be either the man or the woman of a relationship. You can't just part-time one and then the other. So what I'm saying about what women have to be, if you're going to be the woman of the relationship, that's what you have to do. If you're going to be the man of the relationship, that's what you're going to have to do as men do in a relationship. You're going to have to figure that shit out. You're going to have to find one or the other. You're going to find whatever shoes fit best, and you're going to wear them and walk around in them. So the whole point of being trans is not to remain continuously in transition. It's not about the journey, it's about the destination. If you're a male and you want to be a woman, then you have to be a woman. You can't just be in transition all your life. You become a woman, get it out of the way, get it done. If that means getting carved up or popping a lot of pills or getting shots in your butt cheeks, get to it. You have to become a woman by behavior, appearance, and all the rest of it, and responsibilities and gender roles. And if you're not willing to have feminine gender roles, then you're not trans, you're just an asshole. And likewise for trans males, the other way around. Just think about it.